Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Freldran, and as you can see, I am back in Star Trek Online, and in this video, I'm going to be going over the space items from the current lockbox, the Aetherian Concordium lockbox. I've been kind of putting this one off because I've been trying to get everything, and the only thing I don't have is the ship from this lockbox, which I've been trying so hard to get. I lost count of how many. I actually stopped counting how many keys I've used to open lock boxes. It's like over 160 keys I've used so far, so 160 lock boxes, and it's more than that. I stopped counting. Thankfully, the prices have gone down a bit, but it's still going to take me a while to get that. I'll show you here in a minute the prices on the exchange. But first, I kind of want to go over some of the items and what I'll be doing today. I'll go in space here in a little bit so you can actually see some of the numbers because it doesn't show properly on ground. I still don't know why that's not a thing, but okay. So with this lockbox space items we have the new console right here. You are dismissed. I'll be going over that in space because I'll have the proper numbers in space. Plus also some of these numbers are going to be enhanced because I have these consoles right here. I'll go over those too. We have the new space weapons. I only have the beams or the regular beam arrays right now. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to get a Omni at least. I did not want to go with the cannons and the turrets because I usually prefer beam arrays. I also don't have any of the dual beam arrays because those are just fire forward. So it's similar to like cannons and stuff, and I just didn't want to deal with that. I like broadsiding a lot, so I went with beam arrays. But yeah, and there's also the two new traits, which I'll go over. And I got the vanity shield. I'm using that right now. I do like it. I'll probably be using it for a bit now. I do like it. And for those of you who don't know, I don't know if it's still a thing. My previous episode I talked about in the store. Again, I don't know if it's still going. I know it was only a limited time thing. I don't know when it's supposed to stop, but in here there was the option to grab, see if I can find it here. Right here, we got the Aetherian lockbox compensation. This basically gives you the shield and the trait that was missing or was previously missing from the lockbox. They are now in the lockbox, so you don't have to worry about that. But I don't know if this is still going on because you also get 10 keys and 2 ultimate tech upgrades, which are pretty nice. I already used those. Actually use those on these 2 weapons right here. I was trying to upgrade these weapons, but it took me a little while. I wasn't quite in grinding out the Omega Marks mode yet because I usually try to do that early on, but I was grinding out keys so much that I kind of neglected that. So a lot of stuff isn't fully upgraded, but that's fine. This isn't a full build video. This is just kind of showing off what they are and what they can do. But yeah, let me first go and check on the prices for the ship right now. All right, so you can see right here, this is the lowest price. So that's not too bad, 999 million. When the ship first came out, I think it was probably more, 1,500 million. So they have gone down a bit. There's not a lot on here, surprisingly. So, but if I can get that, I was debating, should I buy more keys and get it, or should I just wait until I get the money for it? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and go into space so I can show you the items and the numbers properly. All right, this is the vanity shield. I do like it. It's got some nice little markings here in the pattern here. I do like how they have the bridge nice and glowing. Same on the bottom. I do like the ends of the nacelles here. They're kind of like vehicle exhaust tips. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to be using it for a while until I find something new or I get tired of it and I'll put something else on. But yeah, let's go over the weapons and the items. I already have this one on equipped so you can actually see the proper thing, because when it's up here, it's got like the other buffs and stuff on there. So, all right, so obviously this does proton damage. It's got the standard -5 or -10 weapon power costs when firing. It also comes with a 2.5% chance for protonic crush. You see the numbers there. So it varies on, well, I'll keep reading. So this proton damage per second for 15 seconds scales with the number of other nearby foes affected by this effect. So that's scaling number there. So I believe it's up to, is it 5 or is it 3 foes? Hold on, let me look. Does it say in here? This where it said how many. Maybe not. I was thinking it said how many foes. Maybe it's something else that shows that. But anyways, so yeah, the more enemies you have affected by it, the number goes up, which is pretty nice. So go ahead and equip that. I also have the console. Let me go ahead and unequip that because there's also stuff showing on there. All right, so this its passive has a 10% shield restoration or resistances, I should say. Improved shield regeneration by 7.5%. And it says up here, even though I don't think it's supposed to say it up there, 2.5% chance to protonic crush. And again, it's similar to what the weapons do. But our activatable ability is a proton PB AOE, 7-kilometer radius plus physical dot, initial burst of, and this is a big number, 80,274 proton damage, ignores shields, which is pretty good. For 15 seconds, 2,460 or 406.3 physical damage for 1 second, or every 1 second. Ignores shields. It pushes foes within 7-kilometer radius. Value scales with the distance. And then again, we also have that chance for the protonic crush. And again, that scales with how many enemies are nearby. Yeah, it's pretty good. I have it equipped now, and you see, actually, I think the numbers, shouldn't the number go up? Hold on, let me check. I guess it didn't go up. I was thinking the number went up because I have proton consoles equipped. All right, well, either way, it does a lot of damage. But yeah, what else? Oh, I do have, now I have all these consoles. They give me proton damage. They're from the Dyson Rep. I also have the Dyson Rep console for the set piece. I just have this. I do actually have the weapon somewhere. It's right there. But this isn't about that. This is about the these weapons themselves. I just have this so I can have a little extra damage. Plus having some power transfer rates pretty good. Yeah, most of this stuff is, stuff that's like helps out with like crit damage and stuff like that. Weapon power, turn rate, stuff like that. So, but you also see I have them up here in my universal console slot, because not only do these do proton damage, but they have accuracy added on them, and they do just straight up beam damage. Now, I haven't tested this yet. I don't know if they actually matter, if the beam damage part actually contributes. So I went ahead and I bought one of these, just cheap one on the market or in the exchange. So go ahead and actually look at this weapon right here. 2,103.2. Take that off. So now we're at 2006.9. Go ahead and add this on here. 2047. So yeah, it does add. Not a lot, but it does add. I mean, this one's only a low level, but so yeah, the beam damage does add. So it's actually pretty good having both those stats on there, and then the accuracy helps out too. All right, so let's go over the traits. Let's see. Right here we have Aetherian beam enhancement. All right, so dealing damage with energy weapons grant 1 stack of Aetherian beam enhancement, max 1 per 2 seconds. Each stack of Aetherian beam enhancement increases your energy weapon damage by 1%, for a max of 15%. Upon reaching 15 stacks, your next attack will cause a protonic release on the target foe. And this is a really high number, 78,413.7 proton damage, and holds to three foes for 5 seconds in a 5-kilometer radius. All right, so I thought something had like a number of foes. So this will hit 3 foes and do a lot of damage and hold them. All right. The next one we have the other space trait. Which one was it? This? No, it was this one. This is the one that was in the that wasn't originally in the lockbox, but they put it back in there. All right, so each time you hit an enemy, or you are hit by an enemy, in a 2-second period, you receive 1 stack of charge. When stacks of charge reach critical levels 15, a proton beam deals 33,832.6 proton damage. This hit always applies Protonic Crush. So there's a lot of Protonic Crush going on. But there's also these just basically a direct hit or direct attack ability, or an auto attack, I guess. So once stuff, this gets up to 15, it does it. Same with how with the weapons, once they hit 15 stacks, they automatically do a well, no, actually, no, what was it? Not that. I already lost myself here. So yeah, it was the other trait. So yeah. So both traits basically do the same thing. This is when you get hit by enemies, it stacks up and up to 15 and then activates it. And then this one is while you're doing the damage, it stacks up and then activates. This one does a lot more damage, like double it. So, but yeah, so we see those go off. They do kind of have a visual. It's kind of hard. It's easy to miss if you're not looking. So, is there anything else really to go over? I will not be using my pets or any of my summonable abilities. I just kind of want to show off just these, the weapons and the console itself, and see if the traits will go off. So yeah, I'll go ahead and I think I'm going to do a couple of different patrols. One of them is going to be Wanted Argala, and the other one I might do, or I might just, well, yeah, I might do the Starbase, was it 234? That one should show off the ability pretty well. So I'll be right back in Argala. All right, so we have our first group of enemies. I'm just going to attack them one by one. See if I can build up our stacks. I do love the look of these weapons. They're really nice. So they're under Protonic Crush right now. Missed the ability, the visual for it. It's really, really easy to miss. Basically, it's like a beam, or like a standard beam, but it's got rings around it.
You have entered it. Looks like our fight got them to notice us.
Let's go ahead and use our console on these guys.
Come out of hiding.
Go buff ourselves.
Ship is under attack.
Keep concentrating
I
fire on
mean,
individual ships.
yeah.
Separate them. Whittle down.
It's still going.
We will not go quietly.
Or it has this like weird shield around. I don't know what that. It's like it's still going, but it's not. Oh, there we go. Saw the proton crush there. Or get activated. Yeah, it does so much damage. I mean, it's just insane.
Stand down and surrender.
I mean, I know these are weak enemies, but still.
Sensors are picking up small habitations in some of the asteroids, possibly consistent with mole holes, temporary hideouts.
Now, it does. You know, you think with not being a normal weapon type, it wouldn't do a lot of damage, but it does a lot of damage because a lot of enemies don't have a lot of like proton resistances. I don't know if you saw it, but there was another proton crush that went off.
We do what we want, where we want.
Again, it's activated by the weapons have a 2.5% chance to activate it. The consoles will, or not the console, but the traits will activate it. Or at least one of them will. The other one I think just does regular, just proton damage. But the one trait will always cause it to, when you build up enough stacks from being hit by energy weapons. I believe it's just energy weapons. Oh, proton crush just went off again, but that ship was destroyed. I'm gonna wait to use my the console ability again on the big ships, so I'll be right back when the big or the final ships are here.
Warning. Ship is under
All right. I mean, that's a lot of damage. Info. Yeah, it's got almost 300,000 hull, and I took out like half of it in one hit.
Target shield has failed.
There we go. All right, so I'll be going into the next patrol. Hopefully, I can show off some of the stuff a little bit better. There's not gonna be as many like enemies like fighting me and stuff. It'll just be like the main space station. And I want to see if I can actually take it down quite a bit, because it's one of those ones where it's got so much health and it's kind of a test to see how much damage you do. So I'll be right back with that. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. Begin simulated combat. First, I got to take out all these guys here first. Now, these guys are usually pretty tough. You can see there's not big numbers going, but I'm still doing a decent amount of damage. We'll see if any of the traits go off. I'm not seeing any yet. All right. Might probably get a better look when we're fighting the starbase itself. All right. All right, on to the starbase itself. Now, this has got a lot of health. 1,059,137. So, yeah. We'll see how well or how much damage the console can do here first. All right, took it down to 94. And then one of the abilities, the reflect ability, basically, from one of the traits went off during that. I don't know if you saw that.
Shields failing.
It actually does have a little bit of a visual. Now I'm getting this down, but it goes back up pretty quick. So it's actually hit with like a beam overload here.
Hull integrity below
Ooh, did a lot of damage to me.
right shields failing.
Oh, ship ability there went off. So now in my, oh, there goes that ability again. Now my normal build, I'd be like crushing this thing right now with my phaser build. I'd probably have it down to like 64% or whatever.
Below 75%. Target shield has failed.
Another beam overload.
Hull integrity below 75%.
Definitely want to keep moving on this because the base can do a lot of damage, as you can see. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to take this out before the time is up. Yeah, like 2 minutes left. Oh, there goes that ability again. I believe that's the one where you absorb the damage and then put it back out. Oh, actually, it did. Protonic Crush itself went off.
5%. Right shields failing.
So actually, I'm getting pretty close to doing some really good damage on this. Let me go ahead and do the ability again here.
Hull integrity below 50%.
Taking a lot of damage.
Right shields failing.
I'm surprised I'm doing this much damage because it's not a full build yet.
Hull integrity below 75%.
I might actually get this before the time's up. I was not expecting this. Wow. Okay. I was not expecting that. With those, the Protonic Crushes going off and the other abilities, like the Reflect ability, that always causes the Protonic Crush to go off. It's just insane. So I was not expecting to do that much damage and actually be able to defeat this before the time went out. So yeah. As is, you know, with not having everything maxed out, you know, it's a really good option for builds now. And a lot of these cost quite a bit. You can try your luck by opening boxes. You can always get a really cheap one that's got really bad stats on it and like re-roll those stats if you want, I guess. Again, you also have these, which you can upgrade. Plus, you also get this from the Dyson Rep, which will give you some more proton damage. You know, stack yourself some crit and stuff like that. These come with accuracy, so you're hitting more often. You know, make sure you got some survivability, which my survivability is not that great right now. I mean, this is like the only thing that really gives me a lot. So, oh, I guess I got a trait that helps out with that too, but as long as you're moving, it's not too bad. And if I had the pets from the ship, they do proton damage as well. So I would also add some of my pet traits that would help those guys out. So yeah, overall, I would say this is a really, really, really good option for a build right now. It's probably gonna be the meta for a while now. So yeah, my main you know, kind of gripe with the boxes is, yeah, the ship is really hard to get. Apparently, I don't know. Some people have had better luck, but you know, like I said at the beginning, I spent like over 160 keys opening 160 lock boxes. That's just, yeah. Yeah, overall though, I would say pretty good. They did a really good job on the weapons themselves, the console, the traits are pretty good. So yeah, hopefully in the future I can get a hold of the ship so I can show those off and add the pets to my build. But yeah, let me know what you think about the space items from the Lockbox. Have you gotten the ship yourself? Leave a like, comment, and all that good stuff down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.